Yo, what's going on, guys? And of course, we got to real quickly talk about this deal. Anfernee Simons heading to Boston. And I guess technically Jrue Holiday heading back to Portland for what looks like Jrue Holiday to the Portland Trailblazers for Anfernee Simons and 2 second-round picks. It's an interesting deal. Now, this is a deal that, look, they wanted to move Jrue for salary reasons. Simons isn't that much cheaper, but he's a 20 point per game scorer the last few years. He's a really good 3 point shooter. This team needs offense without Jason Tatum next year. Plus, Simons is on an expiring deal that they can extend. So if things don't work out, they could always just figure out a way to move on from him, either extend him and trade him eventually, or just let him walk. And you obviously know Brad Stevens loves the stockpile on those second round picks. Now, if we were to move forward, my thought is what is going to go forward, because the Celtics are getting the 2030 Knicks second rounder, a 2031 Blazers second rounder from Portland, in addition to Anfernee Simons, per source, all in exchange for just Jrue Holiday. And there was interest from Jrue Holiday allegedly, according to from Jake Fisher, according to him, Sacramento, Dallas, and others. So it seems that Portland is going to seemingly keep the point guard, but I assume Anfernee Simons probably did not want to extend with Portland. They were like, hey, let's move him so we don't lose him uncompensated. Now we'll let Jrue Holiday play for us, recoup his value. And this way we can just go ahead and get a guy who maybe down the road can give us, or just flip Jrue Holiday into assets, while him being the guy who mentors Scoot Henderson. So outside of that, how does this work from a salary standpoint if you're the Boston Celtics? I think the Celtics salary right here, especially now that you look at a team that Jason Tatum's going to more than likely miss the entire season due to the calf injury or the Achilles injury. So what do we do? Well, you go and get a scorer, because I don't think this team can take a gap year. They're too good. Their coach is going to let them take a gap year. And hypothetically, if he gets the bridge, I think it's called the bridge zip or the Achilles bridge, whatever it's called. It's what Aaron Rodgers did. You hypothetically could come back in less than 6 months or 9 months. And if that's possible, they can go ahead and be able to move forward with Tatum coming back for the playoffs if they are a top 6 seed in the East. Now, yeah, I think from the Portland Trailblazers, it gives a mentor from Jrue Holiday will mentor Scoot Henderson, and then they'll eventually flip his contract. They seemingly have done a really good job of doing that, where they take guys on and they are able to maximize their value. Chauncey Billups seemingly does a good job with that. And they were rumored to go out for Chris Paul if they felt like the veteran point guard market wasn't going to be good enough to mentor a guy like Scoot Henderson. They decided that the best course of action was probably to go out and get somebody who was available to contribute now, because they feel like they're a playoff team. Now, from a salary standpoint, obviously you have yourself a guy in Mr. Jrue Holiday, who's making this coming season 32.4, and Scoot Henderson, not Scoot, my apology, Anfernee Simons this coming year, I believe he's making like 27.6. So it's not a crazy huge number. And again, they're probably going to get him an extension around $30 million a year, or maybe he's just walking away. But I think for a Boston Celtics squad that probably is looking for another scorer, I think that's a huge part in all of this. So that's basically all my thoughts. I think if we just keep rambling here, it'd be a loss of words. It's again the Boston Celtics doing cap gymnastics just to push their team to the top. That's all.